My name's Campbell. I work for an organisation called Arthur J. Gallagher. We formerly were a business called Complete Financial Balance, which we started 15 years ago.
Okay, very good, Graham.
I'm sort of set up as the executive general manager there to build the business.
Very good. We previously talked to one of your colleagues, Campbell. You work with Campbell?
Absolutely. Campbell and I've been in the industry for about 30 years, and Campbell and I got together. He's going to kill me if I get the date wrong, but about 14 years ago we got together, and he came into. I had a fairly mature business. He came into our business back then and brought his skill sets to it, and away we went and built a very good business.
It's a pretty big thing bringing in a partner into a business. What was it about Campbell, or what was it about the both of you that clicked?
To me, it was honesty. I used to give lectures at the TAFE College in Brisbane. So there was qualified electricians. To become a electrician who could do contract work, they had to do a course through TAFE. And I used to give lectures there, and also give lectures at the police academy to all the graduating police. And so I end up getting 30, 40 names each time, and I couldn't obviously see them all. So on the floor of the office that I was on, there's 7 advisors, and I used to give 4 of them leads. And Campbell was the only one that came back to me in 3 months' time with a whole Excel spreadsheet, a story behind each one, whose business had perspired, the percentage he gave me for those leads. It was the only one that did it. And so I thought, if I can trust you with those little leads, we can go forward here.
So he never knew he was kind of interviewing, quote unquote, for
no.
that, but his own actions sort of...
Yeah, his actions, said it all. It got to a point where we went through the process of, I wanted to go on some leave, and being the only advisor at that stage, I asked him, do you want to come and work with me? And he said, no, I want to come into business with you. So he's a bit younger and a bit ballsier, and I said, okay, let's talk about that, and that's where it all started.
Well, that's pretty brilliant. Now, tell us the Graham Campbell story before Complete Financial Balance.
Oh, so where I came from, I suppose.
Yeah, let's have a talk about that.
My humble beginnings were up in North Queensland. I was very fortunate enough to play some high-level rugby union. And then I played with a guy called Sam Scott Young. I went to school with Sam. And he'd moved to Brisbane because he got picked in the Australian 20s, Queensland, so on. So I ended up dragging myself down from Brisbane. So when I first left school and played rugby, I was also a motor mechanic. I did 4 years of that, came down here and got out of the industry straight away. So there's a famous gentleman in our industry called Bob Templeton. So Bob introduced me to this industry. Under the old days of National Mutual. So I started my learnings back there, where it was all the soft skills, not so much the product knowledge back then. And it's just evolved from there.
So there you go. You've been around a bit then, Graham, with sporting mechanics. What was it about financial advice or the financial services sector? What attracted you really, or did you just fall in really?
It was the flexibility of being your own boss and a young guy with no overheads. So it made life pretty easy. So I was just doing the normal thing, chasing girls and playing footy and having beers.
How'd you go with all of that? Pretty well?
Yeah, I've been married now for 24 years, so caught a good one, so I was pretty happy about that. It was really the ability to be your own boss. That was an attraction. And to work with people and help people. I mean, everyone's so different, the diversity of your clients is so different, and that's the enjoyable thing about it. A car never talks to you, and was quite boring by the end of it, where people talk to you and every person's different. They've all got a story.
Very true. So if it was you and your personality coming into the industry today, the industry's changed so much since you started, would you still be attracted to come into the financial advice sector today as you were when you started?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. When I first started in the industry, it was a Four Corners story, where the advisor world used to be writing gravestones. So I've graduated from the training course to a Four Corners story, which is doomsday for our industry, where the corruption and dishonesty was there. So the negativity about financial planning has been there for a while, perceptions. And we get bashed around a lot over the years. That'll always continue. But there is a perceived push now to lift our standard in our education. I'm all for that. So that's only going to help us in the industry moving forward. So if I was to join the industry today, I would obviously do the studies first. I do like the idea of where we're moving to do a traineeship behind or with an advisor for a year. I think that's an excellent idea. We sort of did that when I first started. We used to be a group of us when you go through a course, and you had to be attached as an associate advisor to a fully fledged advisor. So the same sort of thing happened then. You couldn't be fully registered as an advisor to at least 12 months. So,
sounds pretty sensible, the professional year style of
absolutely,
approach.
Absolutely.
So Graham, you seem to have a very positive, very optimistic sense of the future of the financial advice sector.
Absolutely. I think we always put a fee for value. So the advice world's got a huge space to help society when you only see 20% of the population, as all the statistics have been telling us, that seek advice. That means there's 80% out there that need to get advice. So I think there's so much room to have some fun.
So when you're not running a business and giving advice, what are you doing, Graham?
I'm a family man.
Okay.
Got two beautiful girls, 14 and 11, so they sort of keep me pretty busy.
Do they play rugby union, Graham?
No, they don't. I don't. One plays touch football, the other one does dancing and netball, so we're into that. But I used to be a very keen surfer, but that became quite selfish when your girls don't surf. So we bought a ski boat. I'm a very competitive wakeboarder now, so I really enjoy that side of things.
Right, is that a family activity?
Absolutely. So the beauty of it is you have your whole family in the boat and other families. So I'm fortunate enough to have a boat that can hold 16 people, and here I am at 50 trying to learn to do a back roll behind a wakeboard.
So where do you go when you're wakeboarding?
There's a lake or a dam just up from Brisbane, about an hour out of Brisbane. We've got a place up there on the lake, and so we go up there whenever we don't have a sporting event on the weekend with the kids, or a social event, I suppose. Pretty
good. So moving forward, you've already said you're optimistic about the future for the advice sector. What are you doing moving forward, Graham? What's your story from here on in?
Yeah, I've taken a big change from being self-employed to now being an employee. We had an opportunity to present to a large brokering company, Arthur J. Gallagher, an opportunity of what they could do here in Australia. So we jumped in a plane, flew to Chicago and told them the story. And they said, let's do it. So we've got absolutely no idea what we're doing, but we're trying to do it well, learning as we go. But it's to build an employment benefits business. So I'm still obviously doing a lot of client engagement still, but it's also expanding that role to look at growing an employment benefits business.
All right.
So I'm learning as I go, but it's another challenge, which is I'm enjoying. That's what
Sounds terrific. Sounds like you've got a very full but optimistic future in front of you, personally and professionally.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Next step's my girls getting through school, I suppose. That's school, marriage, all those beautiful things in front of me. It's got
Yeah, well, good luck with that, Graham.
I'm going to be one of those dads naked in the gun when the boyfriends come to the door, I think. I'm going to struggle.
Let us know. We'll come back to you on that. But in the meantime, thanks for your time, Graham Campbell.
My pleasure. Thanks, Peter.